I don't know why I did it like that.
Wait.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Like we're a band.
Yeah, but okay. All seriousness, would you be upset if I had a little extra coin and I somehow got you into the Sexiest Man Alive magazine?
I love games like this. I would not be upset
Okay.
at you. I'd be more upset if I didn't win.
Well, no one win. Oh, you mean like the cover?
Yeah, the cover.
I
don't want to be one of those secondaries.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have enough money.
Some of them don't even get a whole article.
Yeah, I don't have that kind of money. I could definitely get you like one of those sexiest men who wear hats, and then you just like it's just a photo of you like this.
Just make sure I don't share a piece with somebody, you know. Like they made Hugh Jackman and
oh yeah, I wouldn't allow that.
And Ryan Reynolds share an article.
If I go halvesies with somebody.
Yeah, no, come on now. That's you guys don't got 2 pages.
You have such high standards, and I love that for you.
Yeah, right.
You are, yes, queen. Yes. What's up, everybody?
What's up, duckies?
If you don't know, you are listening to Bubble Bath Stories, your favorite 15-minute podcast. I'm your host, Nicky Trent.
I'm Manny also.
And let's jump into it. This week's episode, we are talking about People's Magazine, Sexiest Man Alive.
Sexiest Man Alive.
Oh, we were
not of
so
the year,
close.
right?
No,
yeah, they do
so
Man Alive.
Oh yeah, Sexiest Man Alive.
Yeah.
And the cover featured none other than John Kransinski,
Johnny K.
John Kransinski. I said it right.
Yeah.
Kransinski.
I can never say it right.
Jim from The Office, the guy from The Quiet Place, but more famously known as Emily Blunt's husband.
You think that's what he's known for? I think it's just Jim.
I just don't think you're on Twitter enough to know that that's how people refer to him as, Emily Blunt's husband. You did something interesting when I told you about the magazine.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, this magazine article, this cover, it comes out, once a year, and people talk about it and the pictures and all, but I read the article.
He read the article.
What a nerd.
Read the article. Wow.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'm looking at the pictures. I'm looking to see who got picked for what, and that's it. And then I'm done with the magazine. But you took time to do actual research on the cover man himself.
Well, I mean, they spoke to him, and I mean, the article wasn't like anything grounding or anything like that. You know, had a couple of funny things. You know, I was thinking like, okay, we're talking about how sexy this guy is. Let's see if they mention anything. They don't mention anything sexy about him on there. It's all like just family shit like that.
Well, ladies and men like sexy family people.
Yeah,
being a family person. Nah, I said that wrong. Being a family person can be sexy.
Well, I thought it was pretty interesting that they did mention a few things career-wise, because like we just said, I either know him as Jim from The Office or Emily Blunt's husband, right?
Yes.
But you know, I actually didn't know that he's on his 4th season of the Jack Ryan show.
Yes, the Amazon show.
Yeah, so like he's had action movies. He was on 13 Hours.
Yes, that was like his first post outside of the romantic comedy.
Yeah, what a dramatic change too, from The Office, Jim at The Office to 13 Hours.
Yeah, you took him seriously.
Yeah, you're like, and I remember when that came out, people were like, "Is that Jim from The Office?"
Yes, because the other guy from The Office is in that movie.
Yeah, the guy who, Roy.
Yeah.
And you know, he had a couple other, like, I guess, is The Quiet Place an action movie?
I would say like thriller.
Thriller?
Yeah, I would say thriller. Because it's more scary than anything else.
So all these different things he's had, to have 4 seasons with Jack Ryan, I thought it was pretty interesting, because if you think about it, now we're talking sexy here, right?
Yeah.
If you think about it, this character, Jack Ryan, who is like portrayed as always a handsome looking dude, you know? He's always a sexy guy. In the CIA world, he's our James Bond.
Name the guys who have played this character.
Only sexy guys have played him. We're talking Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford.
Yes. Alec Baldwin.
Okay.
Chris Pine. And Ben Affleck.
Now, me
These are the only guys who play them.
I find none of those gentlemen attractive.
You personally don't find them.
No.
Historically, these are all like the sexiest men in Hollywood.
We need you guys to weigh on this, because we actually had an argument about this, of whether these guys are actually hot. And I guess it depends on when they played them. But I think
Harrison Ford, come on.
This list, would you consider it like the sexiest list?
Yeah,
I mean, people who've played Jack Reacher, I don't know. Compared to 007, I don't know.
I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the sexy category.
Okay.
Now, one thing we found out that's not too sexy about him, he's scared of spiders. Not sexy. Also, he uses his wife's products.
You use my product.
I gotta imagine it's not with permission, and I gotta imagine that she's not a fan of it too.
She probably doesn't. It's probably like the free stuff. She probably lets him rummage through like the swag bags they get at award shows. Yeah. But not her actual collection.
But like when I use your stuff,
yes, I hate it.
How annoying is it?
It's so annoying because let me tell you about men. All right, they don't believe in a little does a lot. Okay, homeboy here has to like a caveman squeeze the bottle like this, even though he's just a little chipiquito. He just squeezes it like this.
All right, ladies, you decide, sexy or not sexy. He uses his wife's products, probably without permission.
Ooh, that makes it even sexier. So naughty.
A couple other things. One thing I want to ask your opinion on. First, before that though, they did ask him about who they think is going to give him the hardest time as far as being chosen for this. Yeah. And he said that his brothers, right? So I did look it up, and it turns out he's the youngest of three brothers. Aw. So I think he was at Boston College, right? Boston.
Your cousin from Boston.
And so his parents were a nurse and a doctor.
Oh my God.
A specialist.
Do you know what his brothers do?
I don't know what his brothers do.
What if they're doctors?
Yeah, well, I mean, I just imagine the youngest of three in a family like that, Irish descent, Catholic, raised Catholic. Yeah, couldn't it have been easy to tell your dad, who's a doctor, that you want to be a actor?
No. Would you like to do a rendition of what we? Would you guys like to hear a rendition of what we think it would sound like?
This probably would have went down like, right?
Are you the dad?
You're the dad. I'm the dad. What's going on, son?
Well, Pops, I just gotta talk to you.
What's going on, son? Come out with it.
I want to be an actor, Dad. I want to live a life in Hollywood. I don't want to be a doctor.
Get out of here.
No, Pops, you get out of here. My teacher said I could be somebody someday.
I can only do like phrases and stuff. I can't go into I can't go into the dialogue.
And see. No, that couldn't. That
couldn't have been easy, right?
He probably did the deal probably must have been like do pre-med while you do acting.
Yeah, he's probably like really well learned. Yeah. Before he could go into the real acting stuff.
Well, thank you so much for sharing those tidbits about.
Well, the last thing I wanted to say is that they did ask him about like his thoughts about when he heard he was being crowned, right? So he just said just immediate blackout, zero thoughts other than that, maybe being punked. That's not how I wake up usually thinking, is this the day that I'll be asked to be sexiest man alive?
What?
The reason I wanted to ask is because we were talking a little bit about the selection process.
Yes.
Right? Probably wasn't as much of a surprise then, right?
Well, okay.
Because
this kind of spills into my thing.
Yeah.
Right? So, yes, John is on the cover of the magazine. People are confused. They're like, why is Glenn Powell not on the cover of this magazine? He's had like 3 movies come out this year, back to back, all successes. Mm-hmm. He's just Hollywood's hottie pants right now.
Yeah.
And it turns out that he was actually offered, like, sources say aggressively, like they wanted him for the cover. Yeah. And he turned it down. Now, if you guys can remember last week, this came out this issue came out Friday, but Vanity Fair had already released their cover, their Hollywood issue, which he's on the cover, but he shares it with Zendaya, Nicole Kidman, Dev Patel,
yeah.
Yes. He should have been on the cover. Don't get me started.
Because of Monkey Man.
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
Doug, I need to rewatch it.
Without me.
Yeah, I need to rewatch it. But anyway, so he does that. So my theory is that he probably knew ahead of time, and it could have been that he could have done both, but he probably chose to do this one because it's a little more serious. It's like he might be trying to stray away from only being known as a hottie McHottie pants.
Okay.
So boom, they give it to John, and everybody's like, "You ick! Like you didn't even make first place. Like why?" And everybody's giving their opinion about how they wouldn't do it. Would you have done it if you were second choice?
If I was second choice, well, here's the thing, like.
But I don't know if John knew. Like, you don't know.
I feel like these things are campaigned in somehow. You know, and you're told ahead of time, and somehow, like, maybe you're not told, hey, you're in the running, but maybe somehow you're told, like, oh, hey, by the way, people want to talk to you about the Sexiest Man thing, and you're probably like, oh, okay.
So I do believe there's probably, like, they probably have candidates, and then it's probably internally it probably boils down to who's picked, and then they call the person and go, hey, we want you to do it.
But if I were to find out that somebody turned it down and then they came to me, I'd probably be like, gosh, somebody's going to find out about this.
Like, deep down inside, you want to believe that homeboy didn't know until the internet exposed it, which is, like, super fucked up of the internet.
Yeah.
But, like, you're right. A part of him had to have known, right?
Glenn Powell sounds like a sexier name, too.
If you want to call and complain about that comment to Manny, you can call our hotline at 347-878-1144. So, first of all, the internet, horrible place. Benny Blanco, famous music producer. I know you don't know who that is, but he's also Selena Gomez's boyfriend.
Yeah.
So he is actually featured in the magazine. He has his own article, he has a spread.
Yep.
The internet was...
Talks about being a gentleman.
The internet was barbaric.
Yeah.
Like, barbaric. They were ripping him to shreds. They just... First of all, they still can't believe that he bagged Selena Gomez. Then they're
we talked about that, too, yeah.
Then they're like, what conspiracy or, like, what dirt does he have on these people that he made the magazine? Then, this very popular gossip site, Jumal, I hope I'm saying that right. If I'm not, correct me. But they allegedly got a tip that somebody, a very rich woman, paid to have her man featured in the magazine. And so everybody's like, first of all, this is how fucked up it is. Everybody's like, well, it has to be John. Like, what the fuck is he doing? How did he get the cover? I don't even know anything he's been in besides The Office. He, you know, like, he's Emily Blunt's husband. She must have called it a favor for him to be on the cover. Because he's got nothing going on right now, right?
Yeah, like, what else is he in? I mean, he directed a couple movies,
well, it's more like he doesn't have any new stuff coming out, like, now.
What is he doing that's sexy?
So everybody's like, well, it has to be that, right? Because he's freaking out. And, like, he doesn't have anything going on. And then the other side of the internet's like, well, it has to be Selena. She has to have paid to have this guy. Because there's just no way. There's no way in hell. Like, she must have called in a favor. And how hurtful is that to fucking see on the internet? Like, so fucking hurtful. But it later came out that you absolutely cannot pay to be in the magazine. It is, like based off of projects that you have going on, like popularity, all this other stuff. Yeah. And so that rumor went to rest. But the John thing, immediately I believed it. I was like, oh, yeah, this guy, like, what does he got going on? That makes total sense.
So you're leaning towards Emily Blunt called in a favor.
Yes. But then I read that you actually can't pay for it. Like, this is something that...
Maybe he was in the running, and then she called in the favor.
No, I don't think she called in the favor. But, interesting note, Kelsey Travis is in there. Is that his name? Kelsey? No, Travis
Kelsey.
My bad.
Taylor Swift.
Don't come after me. And I saw this thing on Twitter that was like, notice how these guys are in the magazines who have billionaire girlfriends, and I'm like, yes, queen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at these boys. But also, Benny Blanco should not feel bad because he got a billionaire on his arm. Okay. Who absolutely finds him attractive and loves him and adores him.
So then, in that case, if we're talking if we're talking about like who should have been there then, and who would have been on there on their own merit, then I think they should have picked my boy Pedro Pascal, man.
Yes, because he's literally father.
And he is daddy to everyone. Like, I need him to play me and my father in a movie about me. Like, this guy is like number one, though.
Yes.
He is, not only is he a great actor, but he is in like the roles.
Yes.
And everything,
Gladiator
bro.
also is coming out.
Gladiator, talk about sexy roles. You know he's going to have sex with a woman and a man in that movie. Bro, but I'm saying, like, he's in everything, bro. And he is wanted in everything, you know?
My pick for...
But they only had my bad. But they only had, like, a small article about him. They didn't, like, a little feature. They didn't even have, like, an interview. I was like, what, him? And plus, if you think about it, he took John Krasinski's role on Fantastic Four.
Oh.
Yeah, so even Marvel thinks he's better.
If you want to complain about Manny, please call our hotline at 347.
Yeah, he's going to play Mr. Fantastic.
1144. My cover choice would have been Theo James.
Theo James?
Yes. He's from White Lotus.
Okay,
He was in, I don't know what. It was
another
one of those
thing
weird...
she watches by herself without me.
I don't watch it because of him. No. Okay, how dare you? He's also in The Gentleman. I don't know. He's been in a bunch of things. You know who he is.
Yeah.
Okay. Why that man wasn't on the cover? Like, that's wild. He did also get just a little blurb. I think that if I'm gonna make this issue better, I think they need to stop doing the blurbs, because there was like some section that was like hot pets and their hot owners. They're just getty Instagram pictures. It should just be like a selected few or whatever that you're going to do articles about and all that. Don't give me any of the filler shit.
They have like pet features on a different article. Yeah, make this one about humans.
I don't need any of the filler. Like, give me your choices. Because at that point, it just feels like you're trying to pick everybody.
I think these were some of their other choices. They had Joshua Jackson.
Okay.
I don't want to wait for a John Hamm. I don't know what the appeal is of Post Malone. What do you think?
I guess because he did songs with Taylor Swift.
Matt Boomer. Do you know him?
Yeah, he is objectively like the most handsome.
George Clooney's like always being mentioned. On this
he probably owns the magazine.
They did give a whole feature for the guys from New Girl.
Can we talk about that? Yeah. First of all, round of applause for our boys of New Girl.
They're getting their dues, man.
Called New Girl, but it's all about the dudes.
Yeah.
Yes, they're finally getting recognition 6 years after
the show's been over.
Yo, COVID was a terrible thing.
Yeah.
But it really, I feel, vitalized a lot of TV shows that people were sleeping on. New Girl was one of them. Schitt's Creek was another one.
Yeah.
Like, our boys are getting their dues. But if I'm being honest with you, I had a little theory about why our boys finally made it.
Why?
Well, besides all the podcasts.
What?
Jake's got a podcast. We're here to help. You need to listen to it. It's actually really funny. And then Lamorne has his. And
Matt has that's his name, right?
Who's Matt?
Schmidt.
No, Max
Greenfield. He's got a really funny show with Cedric the Entertainer
on CBS.
Yeah.
It's on like its 5th season.
Yeah.
Plus, Damien Wayans Jr. has a show out with his dad on CBS State Network.
And he's a Wayans brother, so you know he's good. But what do you think is the one that's getting them all the cream right now?
Okay, all the cream. Pause. I will say, you guys don't hate me. I know that Jake played Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And he's basically a Disney princess at this point.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's Spider-Man, Marvel, Disney. But motherfucking Morris winning an Emmy, I think, is what made them go, we need these guys in this magazine this year.
Yeah.
Like now.
Definitely.
The Emmy win is what... Which is crazy because they could have just done Lamorne, but they know what the people want. The people wanted a reunion.
They come in a quad.
Yeah. They wanted the people wanted the reunion. They knew that. They gave it to us. So I was really excited to see them being recognized. It's just like funny that it's 6 years after and it wasn't during their time on New Girl.
Yeah.
It's just way later and an Emmy win for them. They've
really grown outside of just doing like their comedic role on New Girl too.
Yeah.
Like I was surprised to find out that Max Greenfield's a writer. He writes children's books.
Oh my god, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's like on his second or third one right now, and like apparently they're pretty successful.
Oh, okay. Look at you, Max Greenfield.
Yeah, man. Children's books. That's pretty cool.
Long Island son.
And so yeah, everybody knows that Jake Johnson,
He
not just
directs
acting,
and
but he
produces,
directs.
yeah.
Yeah, he's like directing. He's getting like names to work with him too. But that's pretty cool that he's.
I mean,
that
but
he's
the
Peter
podcast.
Parker.
Yeah. Well, right. So was that a Sony or Marvel?
That is a Marvel. That's a Marvel thing. Yeah.
Oh my God, Jake Johnson, you're a Disney princess.
Yeah,
And
basically.
These mofos need to bow down to you.
Yeah, basically.
Okay? You played Spider-Man in Marvel, owned by Disney. Bang, you're a Disney princess. Go ahead with your bad self.
Yeah.
Sexiest princess.
Damon Wayans has a new show out right now.
Yes.
How's that?
I don't hate it. I mean, it's got potential. It's got really great names on it. I'll tell you that.
I think it's funny, too, that on the show... Damon Wayans is only on the first 2 episodes or so, right?
Yeah, and then comes back like
later. 3-4 seasons later,
yeah.
And it's like doesn't skip a beat, you know? Like I don't think any other show has tried something like that before, where
they've tried it just
or successfully tried something like that before. Like he came back like it was nothing.
Yeah, seamlessly. Ugh, I miss that show. We should rewatch it.
Yeah,
we definitely should.
But Lamorne Morris' show, the woke one. Mm-hmm. What'd you think? You saw the whole thing. Both
I liked
seasons,
it.
Right?
Yeah, and it got canceled. Like most things I like, it gets
What was it that he won an Emmy on?
It was for Fargo.
For Fargo, okay.
Yes.
I haven't gotten to that season. I gotta check that out then.
Yeah, our boy did Fargo, and then he's got his SNL movie coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not his, but you get it. Anyway, this was fun.
Yeah.
But I still feel Theo James should have been on the cover.
Yeah.
Fuck Pedro Pascal. No, I'm just kidding. Don't
Pedro
say that.
Pascal
No, he is a father.
Needs it. I'm sure he's got a lot more things coming out next year. So
maybe next year.
Maybe next year.
Fingers crossed. You know.
PD, we're on your side.
People were talking more about this magazine than the Jake Paul Tyson fight. I tell you that.
Yeah. Right.
Boo.
They're talking more about Tyson's butt than they are about the fight.
Oh, we could do this for hours. Anyway, guys, you let us know. We want to hear from you.
Yeah.
Who would you have put on the cover? Who's your sexiest man alive?
Who is your sexiest man alive? You can't say your husband.
You can tell us what you think about who was chosen for the cover, about the rumors. Tell us about what you think about the rumors. You think they were true? Yeah,
what's one thing a sexy man can do that will ruin everything?
What do you mean?
Like the spider thing.
You were really hung up on that. Okay, so we know Manny's dislikes must not be afraid of spiders. And you guys can let us know all your answers by hitting us up on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, or in Instagram. Did I say that right?
You said Instagram.
Okay,
You do.
You can hit us up on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok at Bubble Bath Stories.
You can find me at Got No Time For This on Instagram.
And you can find me at Nicky Trends on Instagram. And if you guys want to cop some official merchandise, you can head over to our website, bubblebathstories.co. And I know I said this number a couple of times throughout the episode, But if you want to give us a compliment, a complaint, you want to tell us who your Sexiest Man Live 2024 is, hit us up on our hotline at 347-878-1144. Until next time, Duckies.
Bye.